Hi friends, we're going to start reading Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. We're on chapter 41. You need to look up at the Wonder Dome, said Sierra. Huh? Said Kyle. Sierra and her whole team were standing together outside the door to Community Meeting Room B. She hadn't been this happy or excited in a long time. Sierra, said Akimi, what exactly are you suggesting we all give ourselves a crick in the neck by staring at the ceiling? Okay, this is a game some of us play online called What's the Connection? I put up a list of authors and you have to figure out how they're linked by the titles of their books. Whoa, said Akimi, sort of sarcastically. Sounds like fun. It is, but believe me, it's not easy. What'd you figure out? Asked Miguel. Well, like Curtis said, Thomas Wolfe wrote Look, Homeward Angel, and Lewis Carroll wrote Through the Looking Glass. That got me thinking. And running computer searches. Stephen Sondheim wrote a book called Look, I Made a Hat. Maya Angelou wrote Even the Stars Look Lonesome. And Pseudonymous Bosch wrote This Isn't What It Looks Like. They all have look in the title, said Kyle. What about the other 5 authors? Asked Akimi. Did they write look books too? No, they're up there for a different word. Huh? Booker T. Washington wrote Up from Slavery, and Shel Silverstein wrote Falling Up. And Dr. Seuss? Said Kyle. Great day for Up. George Orwell did Coming Up for Air, and Todd Strasser wrote a book called If I Grow Up. So, the 10 statutes give us 2 words, said Miguel. Yep, look and up. So I did. I looked up at the Wonder Dome. There, did you see it? That string of numbers that just drifted across the 200 screen under the Star of David? 220.5203, said Miguel. Akimi knuckle-punched Kyle in the arm. This is just like that bonus code thing you showed me on the school bus. Of course, said Kyle. This is a Lemoncello game. He always hides secret codes in screwy places. Way to go, Sierra. Thanks, said Sierra, realizing how much more fun it was to play this kind of game with real friends instead of virtual ones on the internet. But we already found that same 200s number playing Bibliomania, said Miguel. True, said Kyle. Check out the sections for numbers the cards wouldn't give us. Everybody craned their necks and focused on the graphics swimming across the 10 panels overhead. Here comes another one, said Sierra, in the 600s, right underneath the floating stethoscope. Got it, said Kyle. 624.193. Woo-hoo, said Akimi. Sierra, you're my new hero, said Kyle. You saved the day. Sierra blushed. Thanks. The spinner, said Akimi. Huh? Said Miguel. That was another clue. The Bibliomania game was pointing us to the ceiling too, because in Dewey Decimal mode, the Wonder Dome looks like a giant 3D version of the board game Spinner. Awesome, Sierra, said Miguel. Absolutely awesome. Sierra and her teammates stared up the ceiling for over an hour. At 12:30, they finally lay down on the floor so they wouldn't cramp their neck muscles. Because every 15 minutes, the animated ceiling looped through call numbers for every Dewey Decimal room in the library, except one. And then the sequence repeated itself. How come there's no 300s number? Said Miguel. Probably because that's the one book we really, really, really need, said Kyle. That's Lemoncello, said Akimi. What a comedian. Chapter 42. Peering over the railing on the 3rd floor balcony at close to 2 a.m., Andrew Peckelman saw Sierra Russell sitting all alone in the Rotunda reading room. Andrew had spent the night on the 3rd floor losing video games to Charles. And being reminded about how much he needed to break into Community Meeting Room B to borrow any clues Kyle Keeley's team had gathered, to pay Charles back for wasting so much of the team's time on the Anne of Green Gables clue due to his foolish fear of heights. Andrew had promised Charles he'd do whatever it took. If anyone on Team Keeley is going to help us break into their headquarters, Charles had said, it will be the shy girl who is constantly reading. Have you noticed what Sierra Russell uses for a bookmark? No, Andrew had honestly answered. Her library card, which of course doubles as a key card for meeting room B. Find a way to borrow it. Isn't that illegal? Of course not. This is a library. People borrow books, don't they? Well, yeah. Did I mention that I have 3,000 Facebook friends, 2,000 Twitter followers? Each and every one of them will hear what a weenie and a wimp you are if you don't do this thing to guarantee that our team wins. So Andrew made his way down to the first floor. Sierra, as usual, was reading a book. As he moved closer, Andrew saw a flash of white. Charles was right. Sierra was using her shiny white library card to mark her place in the book's pages. He made his way to the cluster of overstuffed reading chairs. Good book? His voice startled her. Oh, hello. Yes. Mind if I join you? He slid into a crinkly leather seat opposite Sierra. So, what are you reading? Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator by Roald Dahl. Oh, yes, I've heard about that book. Where's the rest of your team? They went to bed. Want to get up bright and early, before the doors on the second floor open again. Yeah, Haley and Charles conked out too. Guess it's just us bookworms, huh? Well, it is kind of late, said Sierra. I'm going to go upstairs and... May I take a look? At your book. I've never actually read it. I just tell people I have. Oh, sure. Sierra handed it to him. Thank you. Andrew flipped through the pages until he found the spot where Sierra had tucked in her library card. Wouldn't it be cool if this library had a flying elevator like in that Willy Wonka movie? Especially if you could use it to crash through the roof like Charlie and Wonka did. That'd be a pretty cool way to escape from the library, huh? Yeah, I guess. That was when Andrew made the switch. He slipped his library card into Sierra's book and palmed hers. Charles would be so proud of him. So, he said, closing the book, did you ever read The Elevator Family? No, I don't think so. It's all about this family that lives in the elevator of a San Francisco hotel. And let's just say, the book has its ups and its downs. Andrew laughed hysterically because it was one of the funniest jokes he knew. Sierra sort of chuckled. He handed her back her book. Overhead, the Wonder Dome dissolved out of its Dewey Decimal mode and, with a swirl of colors, became a bright green bedroom with a pair of red-framed windows, looking out on a blue night sky with a full moon and a blanket of twinkling stars. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. The ceiling had become the bunny's bedroom from Goodnight Moon. A quiet old lady bunny in a frumpy blue dress hopped into the rotunda reading room. Two tiny cats followed her. Great, said Andrew, another stupid hologram. I think she's cute, said Sierra. Hush, said the bunny. Good night clocks and good night socks. Good night, Sierra. Good night, bunny. Sierra took her book and headed upstairs. Good night, Andrew, said the bunny. Right. He pocketed the purloined library card. He couldn't do anything with it right away. Not while the holographic bunny's handlers were watching on the spy cameras. But first thing in the morning... Good night, old bunny, saying hush, he called out. And then, under his breath, he muttered, in the morning, our competition we're going to crush.